Today we have Miss Madhushree Dutta with us. She's an urban planner with more than 16 years of experience working in urban development. Thank you for joining us today. Um, you have been part
Hi,
of
Miraya.
you've been part of multiple projects. Could you briefly explain about each of your project and answer a few questions related to them in today's interview?
Sure. As you mentioned, I'm an urban planner and I have more than 16 years of experience. I'm a pass out of School of Planning and Architecture, and I've done my master's in environment planning from there. So you have seen my CV. There are multiple projects. Some of them are government funded projects and some of them are donor funded projects. So when I say donor funded projects, that means that it has been funded by an external agency such as World Bank or ADB or JICA. So, that's what I mean by donor funder projects. So across the interview, the questions that you would be asking me, those will be either government funded projects or donor funded projects. So you can ask the first question and I'll be ready to answer.
So the first question is about your In Replace project. Could you explain briefly what it is and share one or two examples of innovative solutions or partnerships that have promising results in reducing plastic waste in the cities where the program is active?
Sure. So, In Replace Project, it's an acronym for Innovations for Reducing Plastics for a Cleaner Environment in India. So, as I mentioned, it is a project that was supported by USAID in partnership with Ministry of Environment, Forest, and Climate Change. And it's a 5-year initiative that aimed to reduce plastic pollution in the urban cities, and it was to strengthen city level plastic and solid waste management, promote plastic alternatives, support digital traceability. So this is about the project. Now your question on two innovations. So see, yeah, in Replace focused on multiple areas, okay, but the two key innovations that we are doing under this assignment, one is making an e-marketplace for waste traceability. So it's something like an Amazon that we have for products. So this is an e-marketplace for waste products. It's a first of its kind digital tool linking informal waste pickers, aggregators, recyclers. So you have a place where we get all the plastic collected, and then you can sell them to various users. So you might be knowing that many of the plastic variants are recyclable, but there's
Yeah.
no market for it. So yeah,
Yes.
so this project focuses on that. So it is a marketplace where there will be a collection point where all the waste, there are various categories of plastic waste also. So those waste get collected, and then there's a big market for it. There are recyclers for it. So the recyclers get an easy access to the plastic
Right.
waste for recycling. Right. So this is, we call it as e-marketplace for waste traceability. Okay, so that is one innovation that we are doing under this. The second one is a circularity hub. So what is a circularity hub? Because plastic waste or plastic pollution or solid waste pollution is a burning issue, there are many innovations in the market. So there are very many startups that are coming up
Right.
with good solutions. Then there are alternatives. Then there are business solutions. However, so startup has an issue, right? They don't have the money to
Mm.
scale their solutions. So
Initially, yes.
under this assignment, yeah. So under this assignment, we have made a circularity hub where first we are identifying various startups who have solutions which are scalable. So one is that. Then once we find those startups or ventures who have good scalable solutions, we are funding them. And then we are, introducing them to the government so that the products can be manufactured at a mass scale. So these are one or two examples that we are doing under this assignment.
Yeah, I think that's very important to give a direction and translating innovation to real impact that is also beneficial for everybody than just on paper.
Correct.
So thank you so
Yes.
much for that answer. Moving on, how is there's another project of yours. So how is the climate resilient water investment challenge helping Indian cities become more water secure or climate resilient?
Right. This project that you just mentioned, Climate Resilient Water Investment Challenge, it's a project under Amrut 2.0. Amrut 2.0 is a government initiative
Hmm.
that focuses on providing water supply to all urban cities across India. So whether it's a small city or a medium-sized city or like a smaller ULB, it focuses on providing water supply to all of these cities. But the problem is, it only focuses on providing, water supply, whether the infrastructure that is getting built is climate resilient or not. That comes secondary. Okay, first is to build the infrastructure. So
Hmm.
this project particularly focuses, it's being funded by AFD and KFW. These are two donors. One is a French donor, the other one is a German donor. So they, along with Government of India, they are come up with this investment challenge. So what they will do is, some of the cities, they will present a proposal. Okay, so they'll come up with some proposal of building water infrastructure with that is climate resilient. So it is a competition basically. So the cities are going to compete, and whoever shows a good proposal, which is innovative or which are bankable, that is emphasizing on reuse or conservation, that is focusing on blue green infrastructure or building local capacity and investment, those projects would be selected under this challenge. So I mean, it's a good way of moving away just from building infrastructure per se, just building the water supply lines or the water treatment plants or the reservoirs, to an approach where it's a focus on how the infrastructure could be climate resilient, or if in case a disaster has struck, how it is more disaster resistant, or so these are some of the proposals that this investment challenge is focusing upon. So it encourages technical solutions, such as I mentioned, such as reuse. So, water security, a lot of water security depends on water reuse. So water is a scarce resource. Fresh water is a scarce.
Yes. Yes.
Right. So how you reuse it, how you manage the demand of a growing population. Then there is smart metering that avoids leakages. So these are some of the assignments or some of proposals that would be funded under this investment challenge. So it bridges innovation, financing, capacity development, and it's helping cities embed resilience into their long-term planning and investment framework.
Yes, definitely. I think it's adaptation together at a city level and a community level, which is very necessary for people to get aware and also have a part in their own lives. So, like you explained, Amrut 2.0, so it's basically innovation capacity built in together. My next question to you would be your CCPME project. Briefly, could you explain what exactly it was and what were some key challenges you faced while managing the waste in coastal and riverine cities under the project?
Right. So CCPME stands for Cities Combating Plastic Entering Marine Environment. So what it means is, see, not all cities are around the coast, but
Yes.
But what this means is that they are most of our bigger cities are next to rivers, right? Be it Delhi or be it Kolkata. So it's next to bigger rivers. Rivers eventually fall into oceans. So what this project basically aimed at was to prevent plastic leakage into India's rivers and coastal ecosystems. So there were three cities that were picked up as pilot cities to show that, such solutions could work. So the three cities were Kochi, Kanpur, and Port Blair. One, is a coastal town. Kanpur is a city which is next to river Ganga, and then Port Blair, which is an island ecosystem altogether. So the project was to promote integrated marine litter prevention through capacity building, digital monitoring of waste, and creation of circular plastic value chains. The challenges that we faced in this assignment, or as such in plastic waste management, is see what happens is plastic, there is solid waste and there is
Mhm.
plastic waste. So
Yes.
your solid waste gets collected by the municipality. So you see MCD comes and they collect your waste, right? So that is either mixed waste, like the mixed waste that comes from your kitchen, or it is the organic waste, the food waste and all the waste,
Yeah.
or maybe the waste that are lying in the market. So they collect it. They collect waste from the cities. But plastic as a waste has slightly different character. Okay, so there is the plastic gets collected two ways. One is through the municipal collection system. The other one is the kabadiwala, that kabadiwala system, na, where the kabadiwala comes and you give away all your plastics or your newspapers.
Yes.
So there are, right. So there are two chains of collection of plastic value chain. What happens is the municipal value chain is fine. There is a day, a designated day for it to get collected. But what happens, the kabadi wala value chain, that is slightly tricky. It's an informal value chain. When I say informal, it means it's not formalized, and it just happened on its own. Okay, so the kabadi wala may come, pick your waste. He has to give it to a bigger kabadi wala. Then he gives it to a bigger aggregator. The
Mm.
aggregator then eventually sends it to the recycling industry. But this entire setup now is slightly informal. So, because there are two chains to collect plastic waste, that is a big challenge. Then what happens is a lot of plastic waste gets leaked in the environment. So, and there's no traceability to it. So that is another challenge. No traceability of particularly plastic waste. Then the market demand. Again, there are few plastics such as the PET bottles, like the Coke bottles and
Yeah.
all that you get.
Yes.
Those are high value plastics. But there's another segment which is low value plastic. So you will not find the roads or beaches and all littered with plastic bottles, because it's a high value plastic. It gets easily collected even by kabadiwalas or the cities. But what happens is there is another segment of plastic waste which is a low value plastic.
Mm.
Its recycling rate is low, then it's costly. So there is no return to it. Okay, there has to be a return to recycle also, right? So that plastic, which is the low value plastic, it remains uncollected. So mostly the waste, plastic waste that you see on the roads, like those thin films or MLP, they are known called MLPs, they remain
Yes.
uncollected. So that is another challenge, because it takes a lot of effort to push people to get that plastic collected. So that was precisely the reason why this assignment also focused on developing a digital market platform. Okay, so that the recyclers, the informal workers, and the municipalities could be linked together. And
Right.
if you go to Ministry of Urban Affairs, Housing and Urban Affairs portal, this portal is there. It is an already existing digital marketplace platform. So we had worked on the blueprint for this digital marketplace platform.
Yes, I think that's really interesting. And also, I had done some research on water bodies. So, getting to know the waste side of it is very interesting because I had worked on the nutrient intake of fresh water bodies and also India's plastic intake because the population is so high is also something that needs transformation to, like you said, have systems. So I think that was
Absolutely.
really important. Uh, my next question to you would be, while researching sustainability, I've seen how small scale waste segregation often fails without emotional ownership. From your work, how can we make organic waste management feel personal to the citizens at a community level?
Right. So see, honestly speaking, because you are slightly aware of the waste, waste has two components. One is biodegradable, one is
Mm.
non-biodegradable. Plastic and all are non-biodegradable, right? Because they don't get degraded on their own. Organic waste, however, it degrades on its own. So you have
Yes.
bacteria and all act upon it, and it degrades on its own. So this category of waste na, is easier to manage provided people are conscious about it.
Mm.
But the problem is this only, it's easier to manage. You have all the kitchen waste coming out. That is biodegradable. The food waste, whatever you're eating, the waste that comes out, say in restaurants and all, even in marketplace, sabzi mandis, after the vegetables are being sold out, a lot is being left out. You go to flower markets, you have the waste flowers that are lying there, or after shadi and all, the waste flower,
Yeah.
food and all. Yeah. But the good part about organic waste is that it can be easily managed even at household level. Okay. So, you have composters. Even have household composters. So in my terrace also, there's a composter where we just go and put the kitchen waste, every day's kitchen waste we put, and we put a layer. And then after, I think, several cycles, after 30 days, after a month or so, we get compost and we use it in a garden only. However, it may lead to some, if not done properly, a bit of a smell could be there. So there are certain reasons. A, you have to segregate your kitchen waste and dry waste separately. That is one thing that you have to do at household level. Then B, you need to get a composter, biocomposter
Yes.
at your home. Not everybody has space to have a biocomposter, even though it's a small setup. But people are not very comfortable. We are not very tuned to doing it at
Mm.
home. Then not many people have gardens also where, like in my case, I use my compost in my garden. So there are certain things which are